In the 1960s, Uganda was the most popular tourist destination in East and Central Africa. But during the Idi Amin regime, most of the country's wildlife was destroyed. Now, as the country tries to revive this sector, it faces a new challenge: the global credit crunch. Tourism alongside coffee is Uganda's largest foreign currency earner. Analysts say under the current tough global economic conditions, this industry may see revenues drop 20 to 30% from last year's $450 million. While revenues may be low, government seems to be more concerned with development plans for when the global economy turns around.
The effect on Uganda tourism is not as bad compared to other countries, because after all, we are just beginning to come up. Countries where you have a lot of tourists, especially tourists who depend on new promotion, they are going to suffer more than Uganda. But what we are trying to do now, this is the period to prepare Uganda, to prepare the tourism products, to prepare the tourism infrastructure, because tough times never last. I don't know how long this will last, but by the time it's over, we want to make sure Uganda is in a better place to attract and satisfy the visitors who will be coming to Uganda.
Amos Wakesa is an entrepreneur in the tourism industry who knows all about tough times. Having started his business with nothing but a briefcase and a mobile phone, his business in total now has a turnover over $1 million. And if there's anything Amos likes to talk about, it's Uganda.
Generally, tourism is not a well understood subject in Uganda, even when we're one of the top 10 countries in terms of potential. So there's a generation that missed out during the Idi Amin, the wars. We are trying as a young generation to try and teach the older generation about the importance of tourism. And we're giving comparisons to countries that are already doing extremely well, like Kenya, Tanzania, South Africa, Egypt, Tunisia, Morocco. These countries are doing extremely well in tourism. But the potential we have in Uganda is massive. And of course, we're lacking proper infrastructure, but we're getting a few international lodges, chains coming in Uganda. We want people to come and invest on cruises on the Nile here. You know, when you talk about the Nile and you're in Europe, everybody thinks the Nile is in Egypt, but the source is in Uganda. You know, that this is the kind of thing. But now we're also convincing the government by giving them facts about what we can do to make sure the image of Uganda is improved. Because right now in the world, people don't know that we have been fighting very hard HIV. People also don't know that the wars have stopped. You know, Kony terrorized the northern part of Uganda, and this affected our image over a long period of time until about 3 years ago that Uganda became totally safe. And then the world also doesn't know that Idi Amin last ruled Uganda 30 years ago and is actually dead. So we want to change that story.
Uganda has been a free market economy for some 20 years, and its recent political stability has created the perfect playing field for investors and entrepreneurs. The tourism sector is starting from a low base, and as a result is attracting foreign and local players.
Right now as I speak, Uganda in general, things are changing. Tourism was predominantly foreign owned and was small scale. And you also had very few Ugandans that were participating. Even a post like mine, I'm the president of Uganda Tourism Association, it was never held by Ugandan. And now, because some of us have performed, you know, I own Great Lake Safaris, I own Primate Lodge, the main lodge in Chibale National Park, I've just built another in Queen Elizabeth National Park, and people are seeing that actually locals, I'm acting as an example to the locals. They can see if Amos can make it with his bad history, you know, his bad background, and then I can also make it. So the young people are now aspiring and coming into it, and it's creating a better relationship with the foreigners, and I'm feeling more comfortable investing in Uganda, because if the locals don't own Uganda, there's no way there will be stability in the country. But if you have more people like myself owning part of Uganda, stability is assured. So if people are also seeing it, that as more Ugandans invest, more foreigners are coming in the country and investing. You can see South Africa is everywhere in Uganda. You talk about MTN in South Africa, you talk about Nando's here in Uganda, talking about chains of different things, DSTV, you know, everywhere you turn you see South Africa here. And I'm very happy. Many of the guys, South Africans who are here, would never want to go back.
Uganda's favourable investment climate and untapped resources are just some of the reasons why Ugandans who've been living overseas are coming back in droves. After the break, property entrepreneurs, how to supply the demand for over 1 million houses in Kampala alone, and a look at a new telecoms operator entering the market. Could MTN and Zain have something to worry about? Coffee might be the top exporter of Uganda, but creating a domestic market is a whole different story altogether, as one entrepreneur finds out. Doing Business in Africa is winner of the Best TV Feature of the Diageo Africa Business Reporting Awards.